Hello, and welcome to this Friday edition of Spittin' Sports with Lamar. I am Casey Lamar, and I'm coming at you from the 256. First off, I wanted to say if you enjoy this content, please smash that like button, share with everybody that you know, and subscribe to the channel. If you do subscribe, don't forget to click that notification bell so you know whenever I post a new video. But today, I just wanted to talk about MLB news because that was really the only thing going on yesterday. Nothing else major came out. Uh, but MLB news from Thursday the 26th. And then I wanted to make an announcement or talk about NFL fantasy football for this upcoming season. But first, I wanted to talk about the MLB, Major League Baseball. The big news, the biggest storyline that came out was Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge was sent to the hospital last night after being hit by a pitch on his right wrist in the first inning versus the Royals. He ended up suffering a chip fracture in that right wrist, but will not require surgery, and he will miss at least 3 weeks. But the pitch was a 93-mile-an-hour fastball that hit Judge right on the right wrist, and he was visibly in pain, as you can see right there. But after he walked to first base and was checked by the team trainer, he did remain in the game. He ended up scoring. He did have another at-bat in the third inning, in which he reached on an infield single. But when his next at-bat came around in the fourth inning, the very next inning, he was removed from the game. He said manager Aaron Boone said he didn't feel the right power behind that ball and was not objective to being removed from the game. They did X-rays. They didn't show much, or they were kind of confusing, so they sent him to the hospital. But this year he does have a 283 average, 26 home runs, and 61 RBIs to this point. He's on pace to almost replicate exactly what he did last season. Last season he had 52 home runs and 114 RBIs with a 275 average, I believe it was. Almost exactly the same stat line. Obviously they have Juan Carlos Stanton, who he's hit 23 home runs and has 61 RBIs himself in a 281 average. But it still would be a big blow, obviously. Everybody knows who Aaron Judge is. Just hits bombs all day. That's what he does. It would be a huge thing if he missed the rest of the year. But 3 weeks, the Yankees can survive that. They're good enough to do that. But also from the Yankees, they traded for J.A. Happ from the Blue Jays. And they sent one of their major league infielders in Brandon Jury and a AAA outfielder in Billy McKinney to Toronto. Happ, he is 10-6 on the season with a 4.18 ERA and 114 innings pitched for the Blue Jays this season. But he has had success against the Red Sox this season and in his career, which obviously the Yankees' biggest rival is the Red Sox, and they still have 10 more meetings this season. So the Yankees are doing what they can to try to catch up to the Red Sox. The next trade of the day, it was a big trade day for Major League Baseball, but the next trade, the Astros sent a left-handed pitching prospect to the Angels for Gold Glove catcher Martin Maldonado. Maldonado leads the majors in caught stealing percentage. It's purely a defensive move. Maldonado doesn't offer a whole lot from the plate. He's hitting .223 with 5 home runs and 32 RBIs. The Cubs, they're trading minor league prospects to the Rangers for Cole Hamels. This is a huge risk, a massively risky trade. But the Cubs are hoping that a change of scenery will really turn Hamels' season around. Hamels currently holds a 5-9 record, a 4.72 ERA, and he has 114 strikeouts and 114.1 innings pitched. But as recently as 2016, Hamels was an All-Star, and he went 15-5 that season. So he still, you would the Cubs are still hoping he can find that dominant pitching again down the home stretch here and through the playoffs. But since July 25th, Hamels is the worst in Major League Baseball in ERA for starters. Extremely high risk, like I said, and the Cubs are hoping that he can dig down deep and find what everybody knows Hamels is capable of or was capable of. The Cubs are really hoping he can bring that back. We'll move to the team right behind the Cubs in the National League Central, the Milwaukee Brewers. They acquired Joakim Soria from the White Sox for 2 pitching prospects. He adds depth to the bullpen, and Craig Counsell, the manager of the Brewers, has said he will not be the team's closer. He will be an outgetter. So he'll be brought in to eat innings, get outs. I wouldn't say eat innings, but things of that sort to get people out. Get people out and move on in the game. But no, Soria, he comes to the Brew Crew sporting a 2.56 ERA, and he has 16 saves in 40 appearances with the White Sox. He had established himself as the White Sox closer, but the White Sox are obviously out of the playoff hunt, and the Brewers could use help in the pitching category. Starting pitching is really where they need it, but it never hurts to add another great arm to the bullpen. He's a veteran. He knows how to get the job done, and that's what the Brewers are looking for out of the bullpen. The last thing about baseball, the Cubs placed Chris Bryant on the 10-day DL with shoulder inflammation. He originally hurt that same shoulder on June 22nd, and he missed all the way until July 11th. He had played in 9 games since coming back, but he re-aggravated that shoulder on a swing Monday night and then missed the last 2 games. So they sent him back to the 10-day DL. But the thing I wanted to talk about the most today was fantasy football. Obviously, we all play it. We all love it. And we all look for maybe some advice from somewhere or maybe reasons why or why not to pick somebody. But next week, that's what I'm going for. I'm going to give my insight and thoughts about each position. Each day is going to be dedicated to a different position. But I wanted to go ahead and do it next week since the first preseason game is next Thursday, August 2nd. But my thoughts and reasoning behind why you should pick so-and-so or not. But actually, I wanted to kind of leave that open for you guys to help me decide. I could rank the players by their position, or of each position, like top 10 style, or who to take, who not to take, good, sleepers, and people that are going to flop, things of that nature. But anything that you can think of or might like to see, go ahead and put it down in the comment section, and I will take all those into consideration and see what kind of weigh everything and see what might work best to help give you guys some insight on who you should get if you value what I have to say. Everybody has their opinion, but I would like to help you in any way that is possible. But it will go as follows. Each day will be a different position, such as quarterbacks on Monday, running backs on Tuesday, wide receivers Wednesday, tight ends on Thursday, and defense and special teams on Friday. I know there are some leagues that still use individual defensive players, but any league that I play in is defensive and special teams. So that's what we're going to go with for next week. I will live stream one of my drafts. I believe I'm going to have 4 teams this year, and they're all going to be live drafts. But I'm going to at least live stream one of those for you all to come join in. Just join the fun. Maybe tell me who I should pick or who I shouldn't pick or who you like, who you don't like, those kind of things. But I think it would just be fun to have people involved as it's happening. I think that would be a lot of fun for everybody, including myself, just to have a little fun with a live stream and a draft for everybody to come see. But as soon as those drafts are scheduled, I will choose. As soon as they are they are scheduled, I will choose the date, or I will let you know the date and time of the one I choose to live stream. And if you guys want me to do all of them, that is a very real possibility. But we'll go down that road when we get there. But I will live stream at least one for you guys to come watch and just have a good time with a fantasy football draft. But like I said, the first preseason game is next Thursday, August 2nd at 8 Eastern, 7 Central Time. The Hall of Fame game between the Chicago Bears and the Baltimore Ravens in Canton, Ohio. Also wanted to say I will speak about the other news going on in sports, depending on how important it is. But those will be done in a news and update segment instead of Spittin' Sports. Spitting Sports is purely reserved for the fantasy football talk next week. So look for multiple videos each day next week if that's a possibility. It just depends, like I said, on what's going on in the sports realm. Fantasy football is the big talk. I'm sorry, I'm a little excited about it. It's always a fun thing to do and discuss. I just wanted to say, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you do like this content. I just wanted to end by saying I hope everybody has an amazing weekend. I know I look forward to having an amazing weekend. But this has been Spittin' Sports with Lamar. I am Casey Lamar, and I look forward to talking to you guys next week, starting on Monday.